All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the reimagined version of Enter the Internet, a show where I discuss daily news regarding tech, video game, music, media, basically anything I could find on the internet that I find interesting, but clearly it's going to be centralized around video games and technology, stuff I find fascinating, which honestly probably won't end up being that much, but we'll see how it goes. I'll see how you guys like it. Which, speaking of which, I know many of my subscribers are here because of my Rust content and Rust tutorials, which will continue. I'm still working on 2 of them at the moment, and I will still be uploading them, probably not as regularly, but I still will be doing some gameplay and different things like that, which I'm sure a lot of you will unsubscribe, which I totally understand and is expected, because again, if you subscribe for one type of content and that's not what you're getting, I totally understand. So, but with that out of the way, let's just jump into it. So the first thing I want to talk about, which I'm sure a lot of people have already heard about, is that Windows 11 is going to be coming out this fall, which a long time ago when Windows 10 was released, when Microsoft said that this was going to be the last operating system and they were just going to continue to upgrade Windows 10.
So that was a fucking lie.
Which over time, they ended up upgrading it so much and just kind of became a lot of bloatware on your computer and ended up slowing a lot of tablets, different things like that down after so many years. So they're finally giving it a refresh, starting over, and it will be adding a lot of new features that will make the OS a little more user-friendly. It will be adding Auto HDR, which will enhance the textures and lighting of older games automatically, as indicated by the title. And it's also adding integrated Android apps via the Amazon store, so there's no need to use third-party software to run certain Android apps. It looks really nice. I mean, it looks, obviously, everyone's first impression of it is the Mac OS with everything being centralized at the bottom taskbar, which you can see the similarities. Overall, I'm excited to finally get a new UI redesign. But one thing I think a lot of people aren't realizing or might not have heard yet is that some systems, if you built your own system or have a custom computer, which a lot of gamers do, might not support TPM, which is technically a little device that you can install on your motherboard, and it's basically just added extra security. But if you have any CPU that was built within the last 4 to 5 years, it pretty much has this already installed on it, and it's more of a TPM software. You're going to have to go into your BIOS and do this. And for people who are unfamiliar with a BIOS or working on computers in depth at all, this might be a little bit tricky, but there's tons of guides. It's really not that hard to get into your BIOS and turn it on. It's really just a flick of a switch. You can go to Microsoft's website right now and check the compatibility with your computer and see, and I did do this before, and that's the issue. It said my computer wasn't compatible because I didn't have TPM. So I just went to the BIOS, turned it on, and now it says that it's fully compatible, which there is a preview version people can download right now. It's the official preview patch from Microsoft. I'm kind of thinking about going to downloading it and checking it out. I don't know if I want to yet. We'll see. I might switch over and maybe do a video about what I think about it, and maybe after a week of use of it, see how I feel. Some people are wondering why TPM is even a requirement, and it's basically because Microsoft is trying to just be more, I don't know, I guess less vulnerable to hackers. This is just kind of more of an added security feature, which it just kind of keeps passwords. It's just hard. Supposedly it makes it harder for hackers to be able to get in and access your computer and your stuff. So we'll see if that actually works. So the next thing I wanted to talk about today, as I said, this is obviously going to be a video game central thing. The Mass Effect trilogy came out, the remastered version of it came out a little while ago, called Mass Effect Legendary Edition. And it's had a lot of people fall back in love with BioWare's old games, the Mass Effect games. I still haven't gone back and played the remasters yet. I really want to. I have it downloaded. I just haven't gotten around to actually playing it yet. I did love the original 3 growing up. I have not played Andromeda yet. And that's what I was actually getting to with this topic is, again, it's made a lot of people fall back in love with the old games, and I've seen a lot of people are going back and playing Andromeda. I've even seen some articles written online about it from like Eurogamer and a few other places that are saying that a lot of gamers now that they're getting back into Mass Effect and falling back in love with the story and the lore and all the characters and everything, that they're actually going back, because Andromeda had such a rocky start when it first came out. There was a lot of issues, bugs. The faces were all messed up. There was a lot of stuff. So a lot of people were turned off from it and didn't want to play it at all. And again, now that it's been out, they fixed it, they've patched it. I haven't played it again, so I don't know, but it seems like most of the issues that were at launch have been fixed now. So people are now going back with a new look on it, and actually seems like they're really enjoying it. I haven't played Andromeda, and hopefully once I get through the Legendary Edition, I'll pick it up from Steam and probably play it through myself. But the last thing I wanted to talk about today is there's been tons of rumors flying around about GTA 6, when it's going to release, the setting where it's going to be taking place. There's been tons of stuff going around. So far, it seems that the consensus is it's going to be set in Vice City, but there is some conflicting reports whether it's going to be set in present day Vice City, as in 2021, 2022, whenever they do, or some people are saying it's going to be set more in the 80s and going to have more of that 80s old school Vice City, Miami Vice type theme. Which, if we're just going off my personal opinion, I honestly think that it would, in terms of Rockstar's PR groups, I think it would be safer to do more of an 80s style, because it's just obviously in 2021's climate, it's hard for them to do their type of Rockstar stuff. They like to go out and be crazy and make fun of society as it is today. And if they're trying to do that, they might attack the wrong people, like with the whole Lindsay Lohan likeness thing, which obviously they win pretty much all of their lawsuits. Rockstar does, Take-Two does, so I don't think they're really concerned about that. But again, I just think if they're trying to stay away from any lawsuits, any court battles, I think it's just be safe to, again, set it in the 80s where they can make fun of all that stuff. And again, kind of go back to the Red Dead Redemption 2 thing, where they did have some racial stuff and some pretty raunchy stuff, but again, it was set back in the early 1900s, so it was kind of acceptable at that time for that stuff to be going on. But again, if you set more in the 80s and do those type of themes, I think it would be a little bit easier to say, yeah, it's just the older time and stuff like that. Again, it's just more of a safer move. But one of the other rumors that keeps coming out, this is from Tom Henderson, who has been one of the well-known leakers for Call of Duty and like the Battlefield 2042. He's gotten a lot of the predictions right that he said. And some of the stuff that he's saying is that it might not be out until about 2024, 2025.
You what?
Which, I mean, I can see that happening. I can see that as a reality. It's going to suck if it really does take that long. But again, I would rather have quality over quantity, I guess. I know it's been so long. GTA 5 has been on pretty much every single platform for the last 3 generations. So we need a new GTA game, but again, we saw what happened with Cyberpunk. That game's been in development since 2013, 7 years, and it still came out like a mess. And speaking of which, it was just re-released back onto the PlayStation market just a few days ago. So again, I would rather have a full, well-working game, which we know Rockstar would rather put out high quality stuff instead of just rushed games and have that type of reputation. So all right, well, I think that's gonna do it for today. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That does help me out a lot, and I really do appreciate the support. Let me know in the comments if you liked this, if you liked the idea of this, if you want me to continue, or if you thought it was stupid and I should just stop. Thanks.